crackle in the exhaust. More of that, please. More of that. When you let off the throttle, you still get that exhaust crackle.
Hey guys, back from episode 12. It's me, Joseph, again. So here today, we got my 99 Pontiac Trans Am WS6. This car started in 1998. Late models were, or I guess the early models were built late 1997, with the 98 being the very first one of this facelift. The WS6 featured a very prominent ram air hood, as well as some suspension upgrades, a couple little things, a cool little badge on the back, quite often a factory exhaust system. And they were made up until 2002. And if you were lucky enough to get 2002, you could call it the last of the breed because, well, they stopped after that. That was it. That's the end of the Trans Am. So this one's a 1999, second year production. Basically, I got lucky and I snagged this one up in the early summer of 2011. Basically, when I got my novice license, I was looking for a car and I found a 98 Firebird. I'd never seen one before and I thought, man, that thing looks cool. And to be honest, it kind of reminded me of an RX-7, the FD model. I mean, it's got the curves, the hips. I mean, just look at how fat this is. Oh my God, it's beautiful. So anyway, I was taking a look at that and I took it for a test drive and you know what? Pretty good car for what it was. And I went in with my mom. I was still living at home at the time. And we actually bought my first one on Boxing Day. We paid diddly squat for it. I think I paid $3,600 all in. And, you know, I felt like an absolute champion. 18 years old, ripping around in a nice two-door sports car.
And so here we are, riding in Joseph's 99 Trans Am. Let me just say, first off, I haven't driven a V8 in a while, other than like a pickup truck. And I've never driven an LS motor. This is my first time behind an LS V8. And man, I miss the sound of a naturally aspirated V8. You can barely see the front of the car, but you know it just extends for a long time. It's like a missile almost. I like what Joseph's done with this car. Kept it relatively stock looking. He didn't slap any chrome wheels or 21-inch wheels on here. It's very practical if you want to take it to the track. If we had a track around here, I think this would make a wonderful car. I mean, he's got the 275s all around, which are a major improvement. That square stance will definitely help at corner.
Let me tell you, as my third of these F-bodies in 98 to 02s, this is probably one of the coolest cars I've ever owned or driven. Me and my friend Anthony, we went into a little bit of a driving fit, you know, we're fooling around with each other in the corners a bit, and he had a 400 horsepower Evo 8, I believe it is, and you know, we're running around in the corners and I'm leaving him behind and he gets out and he goes, I can't believe an American car handles that well. And it's true, it's not stock by any means, but it's not heavily modified. I mean, it's running a Bilstein HD shock and strut setup on top-of-the-line Eibach springs. We have upgraded C5 Corvette Z06 brakes all the way around on the car, as well as custom-made Z06 wheels for the car that are 9.5-inch wide all the way around. So it runs a 275 wide tire on 18-inch rims all the way around on the car. And then underneath the hood, we got ourselves Cook's long tubes headers with a custom-made Y pipe and a 4-inch exhaust pipe all the way out to the back, where it's met to a B&B high output muffler, which gives this thing a tremendous grumble. It sounds phenomenal. It was tuned at Joanda Motorsports and was planning to get it retuned at Independent Speed in Langley. So after the tuning was done on the car, it puts out about 366 to 380 wheel horsepower, depending on how good the gas in the air is that day. And it delivers a lot more than that in torque. And it is basically a stock LS1 Generation 3 5.7 346 cubic inch all aluminum V8, which to a lot of people might think that's a really big engine, but realistically, go Google it. Take a picture of an LS1 put beside a Honda dual overhead cam engine. You can actually do that. And when you actually compare them, that Honda engine is just about as big as the LS1. The funny part is the LS1's lighter. So you've got that going for you. That's an absolutely fantastic upgrade for this car versus the LT1, which is an iron block and had a lot of troubles. The LS1, not so much. Very strong running engine, a lot of life out of them. On the interior, we've got ourselves a nice Hurst pistol grip shifter, 6-speed manual, Alpine flip-out DVD unit. Then I have a Stealth-in subwoofer to just give it a little bit more kick, because the factory monsoon system or Bose, depending which package you had, they're both really good, but they didn't quite have enough bass. Another great feature, the T-tops. Absolutely fantastic for the summer.
I love this Hurst shifter. I didn't think I actually would, but perfect location, twisted a little bit. Big car, definitely feel that. Oh my god. It's gonna take me a while to get used to that clutch. Realistically, from my point of view, the only thing stopping this car from being a daily driver is the clutch. That's really the only thing. Well, and the fact that it's a show car and it's in pristine condition.
There has been 2 times where I've blown the diff. However, on both occasions, the car still managed to get home. The first time around, it sheared an axle shaft and blew the pinion seal. But I got home, the diff was dripping out into the driveway as I pulled in, and we threw it on a trailer, took it off to IWE, had the diff rebuilt. These stock 10 bolts don't hold a lot of power. That's one key thing. If anyone wants to buy one of these cars and want to modify it, want to go fast, change the diff first, please. These 10 bolts don't do very good. Otherwise, don't expect to be driving it aggressively. The Bird has a lot of unique touches, starting with the glass black exterior, my red door logos, custom made black and red Trans Am floor mats by Lloyd Premium Floor Mats. I put on satin black side decals modeled off of the 30th anniversary car by Adam Benini, who you can also follow at Sign Factory Adam, which were originally gloss red, but the red was a little bit too flashy. The police notice it, everyone else notices it, and you're not being very subtle. And then we had a heavy-duty 6-puck clutch from Monster installed with a lightweight flywheel, courtesy of Brody Goebel and our friends down at Independent Speed Shop. Underneath the car, we're running red polyurethane bushings all the way around. The transmission was painted a custom metallic red, as well as my water pump, with my close friend Ryan and his dad DDA when we installed the clutch. And it also features a clutch slave and master system from TIC Performance, which, if you have one of these Trans Ams or Camaros of the 4th gen, is one of the best upgrades you can do. The engine covers were also custom made. We had them refinished into a gloss black, or a gloss red, sorry, with black highlights and then a little Trans Am bird on it, using original Corvette engine covers.
The styling of this car took a while to grow on me. At first, when I saw these Trans Ams of this era and Camaros and whatnot, not the biggest fan, but when you're up close and personal with these things and see the lines and see the work that Joseph put into this car and the attention to detail all the way around the car throughout, interior, exterior, engine. See, as a car enthusiast, it is so easy. Like, if you get a first car or even a second car, it is so easy to fall in love with that car, fall in love with, say, a Japanese car or European car, and lose sight of all other manufacturers and kind of become part of this group mentality, right? But once you get in all these other cars you never thought you could enjoy, and you give them a chance, you get behind the wheel, in my opinion, virtually every manufacturer has something to offer.
All in all, there's a lot of passion and love put into this car, and when I finally got it, I was super happy. I mean, I had bought 2 before that were V6 cars, and spent the money I had on those. I was finally stoked to have a real WS6 and start modifying that. It meant a lot to me because it reminded me of myself as I was growing up. It was a loud, obnoxious, show-off kind of car, but most important of all, it was an underdog. Everyone sees these cars and they look bad, but when push comes to shove, they perform up there with some of the best of them out there. And not a lot of people think that from an American muscle car. You hear an American muscle car, you think it's fast in a straight line, it's bad on gas, it can't handle. This Trans Am, though, it doesn't do that. It handles pretty great, it's pretty quick in a straight line, and it's really good on gas. For me, this Trans Am is a bit of a love story, and you'll never find another one quite like it. And the fact that it's built like so unique, that's just how I like to do my cars.